Oh wow, imagine starting a live stream without saying hello and just jumping in with Sartuk for a league race around Bahrain. Hey, what up?
Okay, that's one way to start off. What's up, Davin? How has your weekend been?
Pretty cool. Shall I say pretty hot as we're heading to Bahrain and I'm having a cup of hot tea, so things can't get any hotter here. Thankfully, there's some AC and fans to keep us cool in the comms box over here. How's your weekend been, Satak? You sounded a little bit off earlier on, but you seem full of
Yeah,
energy now. What's happened in the few minutes?
yeah. It's been an interesting weekend. I got out of the house and yeah, stayed away from Formula One, the game, and even quali yesterday in Formula One. So I missed that as well. But we're back for Formula One action and yeah, the race itself, we're actually doing Twitter spaces later on. I want you to jump in if you can. I don't know if you'll be awake. It'll be pretty late for you, but yeah, a race companion of sorts with another person here at Roadrunner Racing Esports. And yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Excited for a lot of things, especially the Bahrain GP of the Bwoah Racing League Season 6.
Imagine missing a real life race. That's not a
Hmm.
true Formula One fan, then, isn't it?
Nope. But time zones are messy, and I wouldn't blame anyone. So.
Indeed, and we've been getting a little bit of a delay here for the start. Looks like someone is not loading in. Might be Gambler, and there you go. He's finally loaded in. Been a while since we have seen Mr. Gambler here out on track, and we have someone new today. What's his name again? I forgot
A bit,
totally.
something pants. I know his Discord name is some bot, but in game, perhaps his name is Tiger Pants. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm a little bit lost. Let's jump in. Let's hope he comes out first in qualifying, and maybe we can catch up on that.
Indeed, and there you go. You can see Levi Tiger Pants. I wonder what kind of a Levi is he gonna be from the Attack of Titan? Is he gonna be the one that slays everyone else on track, or is he gonna get his pants pulled down today? First race. It's always a tough one, Saturday. Isn't it? I think everyone here, that all the 13 drivers who are on track today, has had their fair share of first race in Bwoah Racing League. So, Levi is probably gonna get his first race as well. Maybe this might just be his first ever league race. Maybe it's a seasoned veteran. But Bwoah Racing League is a special place. You get to meet new kind of people. And qualifying is underway. And it's, as usual, I miss this, Satek. Nighttime in the game. It's always beautiful to look at the skies. And look at the lights. Just a little blinding, but nice to see.
Yeah, it's always a treat to watch a race around this beautiful track. Fan of the action into turn one throughout sector one. I think we get to see great action in the Bwoah Racing League and even Formula One itself. And of course, 13 drivers out on track. Relatively okay. Actually, just one driver more than no one driver, three drivers more than how many we had in Baku, which is exciting. Big Man Joe not alone this time around, as you mentioned. The newbie heads alongside Big Man Joe, which is actually quite interesting. Big Man Joe works well with newbies historically. I've seen.
Indeed, and starting off the qualifying tradition, Sarter, guess what we have? Intermediates from UK, and joining him for the intermediates run is Big Man Joe himself. So it seems like the cult of setting down the rubber on intermediate tires is starting to expand. Perhaps we shall join them.
Yeah, we've seen that, and it's a matter of time before we see all the drivers come out on intermediates. Or maybe we won't see that. Regardless, somebody who's out there out on track who we haven't seen too much of this season is Gambler. Alongside, of course, that's a blue Alpine, I take it.
That is, Gambler is in the Red Bull. Okay,
Oh, Red Bull.
yes,
My
that's
apologies.
a rare appearance for a Red Bull for this season. But nevertheless, nice to see a Red Bull finally out on track. Not yet out
At
on
least,
track, maybe. He's still in
yeah.
the pits, but he'll be out soon, I guess.
These watches are getting harder to understand on the board, but regardless, we got KDB back, Davin. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how he'll do. It's been a while since we saw a strong KDB performance, running in the top 3, a win maybe, a podium at best. Who knows? Who knows? He has gouts for support as always,
Oh,
consistent
and that
gouts
is...
in the points.
Yes, I was gonna speak about guards, but Yuki just had a little bit of a spinala at turn 7 here, I think, on those intermediates. So, I think if you're on the intermediate tires, setting down rubber, you shouldn't be pushing that much, shouldn't you?
Yeah, precisely. But he stays clear of the rest of the drivers out on track, and yeah, I just hope such incidents or stop during qualifying session, and he has a nice clean race. I think it's long overdue for someone like UK to have a nice clean race, as hard as it might seem.
Indeed, and yeah, back to what you were mentioning about Gods and KDB. Finally, nice to see the pair of them together. I think the last time we saw them together was back in the first race, and yeah, it's been a while since we've seen KDB as well. It looks like he's gonna get a bit of a toe. No, he's moving out of the way of Gods, so KDB is just preparing his leg. Dub, another appearance. There you go. Nice to see the Ferrari pair back as well. Dub setting the provisional pole already, and that
Oh.
is a 29.
Oh, heads up, Darwin. Levi Tiger Pants turning heads. Sector 2 lights up purple.
Oh, okay, that is interesting. Into the last corner here is pretty much a make or break of your lap. If you run wide, that's it. There you go. Your lap is invalidated. But across the line, let's see what can you do. 28.6. Well, he is looking like Levi from AOT. It's looking good for the start.
Yep, we got ourselves quite the driver in the likes of Levi by the looks of it, huh? First qualifying session in the league, and it's provisional pole position for now. 13 minutes left to show qualifying. Andre puts it second fastest ahead of Dub. And exciting. This gets me to the edge of my chair.
Indeed, and lap times are going to continue to tumble. Satek, if you remember, this is a night qualifying, so it starts off at somewhat sunset-ish, time of the day, and it becomes dusk, and it becomes fully night conditions, and the track is going to ramp up as we go into the final 5 minutes of the session. So first time here, I'd say it's a pretty good banker. Drivers will definitely find some more time with track evolution. Saying that, Andre has put it alongside Levi for now, only half tenth behind.
Yeah, so it's close. It's not, distant. That's always great to see. You don't want an overpowered driver to come in, even though we don't mind it. That's how drivers grow in a league. You need heavy hitters to come in every now and then. One of the heavy hitters is restricted to the comps box for the longest time. And I'm not talking about me, folks. Regardless, if David ever went out on track,
speak about
times.
speak about heavy hitters, Satak. There you go. Someone reminds us who is a heavy hitter. Envy goes P1 for now, 28.4. 2 tenths clear of Levi and Andre for now. So yeah, I think he's the one who has to pace here, Satak, not me.
For now?
Yeah.
Well, oh, please, David. Yeah, you don't have to be that modest. We all know. I mean, let's forget about your performance and talk about Sickning, who's conveniently been your, student, and you've been the master on the setup front, and he's been doing exceptionally well. I'm not taking any credit away from him, of course. He's been doing well on merit by himself, but that push from a competent sim racing driver counts so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. But yeah, I'll push the credits back to Signic as well, because no matter what the setup is, it at the end of the day it comes down to the driver as well. You may have the world's fastest setup, all the equipment in the world, but if you can't really produce the lap times, you can't put in the time and effort, the dedication to learn, you're not gonna improve. So, but Signic, I think, from being sort of a back marker in the previous seasons, now he's a regular podium contender, apart from some bad lucks here and there. Yeah, he's been putting in some performances. Last race didn't really go that well for him in Baku. I think he had a spin coming out of that into the sector 3 before the long back straight, the pit straight. Race ended early for him. I had a chat with him after that. He was like, "Yeah, it happens." So moving on to Bahrain now. So yeah, I wonder what he has in store for us.
Yeah, exciting times in the Bwoah Racing League. Bit disappointed we don't see last season's podium sitter Abi Ferrello out on track. Gambler seems to be having all sorts of issues, stuck in the pit lane literally. Yeah, regardless, on we go. Envy on provisional pole. 10 minutes left to short qualifying, and Dubs heating up his tires in sector 2.
Yes, and well, he's 8 tenths off the pace, but he's usually one of the quickest guys to get up to pace despite minimal practice. So that's something to watch out for. While he's warming up his tires, Gameplay is finally out, Sartek. Just as you mentioned, there you go. Into turn 2, we finally see him getting his tires warmed up. Probably will have enough time for 2. Oh, there is someone running wide behind. Is that Big Man Joe? Looks like it was. No, it wasn't Big Man Joe. It was Levi, who ran a little bit wide on the exit of turn 3, and seems to be running into some desyncs here. Is that
the Gambler? It's got to be Gambler. I'd like to assume, considering. Am I right? Yeah, I am right. Because even on the track map, it seemed like Gambler was teleporting. So,
Indeed,
yeah.
and Levi is stuck here on the curb. I wonder if he's beached. I hope he's not beached on the curb here. I think he's just waiting for drivers to pass through. At the same time, he doesn't want to destroy his tires here. Yeah, okay, he's good. He's going back on track. And we can turn our attention back to someone who's out on track 3s. Who's in turn 11, turn 12, where we're coming up to. You know, famously known as the Gouts Corner, Sartek. A term coined by our Bwoah Racing League racers here, and I think everyone forgets the turn number, but we all remember it as the Gouts Corner. And I can pretty surely be very sure here. We might have a spin or 2 on that curb, so let's keep an eye for that.
Yeah, the name coined after an iconic spin by Gouts on more than one occasion, but significantly while battling Rusty Nish for a spot in the realistic performance Ferrari, back when the league had a season in realistic performance and not equal performance. But yeah, we might have just missed a couple of these qualifying results so far. Dalvin, UK went 4th fastest and he went back into the pits right now. Freeze hadn't set a lap time, went 8th fastest. And right now, a bunch of them on fast laps.
Yeah, I have my eyes on Gambler here because if I'm right, this might be his first ever lap in Bwoah Racing League Season 6. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I just want to watch a Red Bull out on track.
Okay, spot on. Good point, Davin. I haven't seen a Red Bull in Bwoah Racing League for a while now. So, yeah, I need to go check that again, who's part of that team. Unfortunately, we don't have that on our fingertips. But yeah, Gambler's out on track. And let's look at Sickning, who cheekily picked up a nice bit of slipstream from a McLaren. And he's on charge of his own out of sector 2 in a Haas.
But he is not on a lap. He's backed out. So I wonder if he had been held up by that McLaren by any chance. I hope not, because he doesn't have enough battery to start another lap. So that's going to hold him back just a little bit on this start. It looks like he's going back into the pits already. But right behind him, the Aston Martin of Envy comes across the line to start another lap. Now let's see if he can do any better than that 28.4. I think we may see a 27s today.
Yeah, Davin main straight, 2 McLarens. I want to say they're trying to give each other a toe, but I think they're too far away from each other. I might just be right. Regardless, into turn 1 they're going.
I think it's Gouts who's on the receiving end of the toe here. Yeah, it is. And well, I don't know how effective this is because you have these slow corners right after turn 1, and that's gonna give you a bit of dirty air. But I wonder if KDB is gonna pull over here, and he does. Ooh, that was close. For one moment, I thought he crashed out or something. But kudos to Gouts for keeping his wits about on the track and not on his teammate into the corner there.
Yep, fastest lap time on the board, 1 minute 28.111 by Andre, who's got provisional pole for now. We're just over 5.5 minutes left into short qualifying. I see Envy exiting sector 2. Fast lap.
Coming out of God's Corner, 3 tenths up already, and that is gonna put him almost on the same lap time as Andres, so a tenth more, and he might just dip into the 27s. There we go, 2 more corners to go. This is pretty much the last effective corner, the actual last corner. That's just a king on the exit. DRS wide open and down the straight. Oh, 28-0, half a tenth quicker. He goes pole position for now. I'm pretty sure there's more to come towards the end. So it is getting tighter here as we head into the closing stages of the short qualifying in Bahrain GP.
Yep, Levi Tiger Pants this time is still solid in the top 3. And I get to see a couple of drivers in Sector 1, yellows out for them. But I wonder. Regardless, Andre headed into the pits. Second fastest on the Bwoah, but he'd love to start on pole, I'm sure. Mr. Dub, why? Why are you 6th fastest?
Skill issue? Talent? As Lander would say. I'm guessing he's just taking his time to get used. Perhaps a lack of practice, which is quite common in some of these days. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he somehow puts that Ferrari in the second row of this grid. But it is looking quite tight up front, so Dub really needs to pull one out. Maybe a magical lap might put him on the front row, but that's looking very unlikely at the moment.
Well, looking forward to it all as the qualifying session heads into its last couple minutes. Something significant we've been missing is UK and Mr. Wicks. They've held on to the 4th and 5th fastest positions in this qualifying session pretty darn well. To think they've kept Dub, KDB, Sicknig and Big Man Joe behind them is quite the feat in my opinion.
Yeah, indeed. And I wonder, because heading into this race as well, Bahrain, if you could just look at the track map, folks, it is full of straights, but it's also full of corners. So track setup, it's going to be a compromise. Low downforce versus high downforce. I think we might see a different story in the race. If you have high downforce, you might just work out in qualifying, but it's going to make you a sitting duck in the race. Just look at that pit straight, how long that is, and well, if you can tell me how to defend on that pit straight when someone's attacking, well, then you might just need some low downforce for that.
Yeah.
Well, we're watching with UK. Oh, that's a nice 360 though, UK. Well done, sir. And Sicknig, right behind him as well. We thought he was gonna have a good lap, and he spun at the same place where UK did. So clearly, they are avoiding the Gouts corner, but in doing so, they are crashing elsewhere.
Yeah, we totally didn't see that coming in all seriousness. I mean, jokes aside, think about it. What are the odds when we were just looking at... I was also on UK's screen, by the way. He just happened to pin right in front of us. I'm telling you, this is the race. This is one of the races where UK is, making sure he wraps up all the incidents, all the spins and all the craziness in qualifying. He's going to have a nice, clean race.
Yep, and thankfully for him, he's in P4 for now, so... Well, track position might be on his side at the race start, and we have 2 minutes left. We got a bunch of cars exiting the pit lane, and Gouts might have just encountered a Ferrari on his way out. That is Dub, who was sitting tight and up for him. Ooh, that's big amount of traffic. 3 cars ahead. First up is an Alfa Romeo. He makes it through cleanly into turn 4. Pretty difficult to get a traction down here, avoid the curb, and into the first sector. He's up by 3/10 already, so it looks like he doesn't need a slipstream there.
Spinning up at the exit of Sector 1, he's into the gravel, trying to make his way back onto the track as a bunch of the other drivers start their fast laps.
Yeah, and Dub has lost his wing. Yep, so I guess that's his qualifying over already. Dub P6 at best. Back to Gouts. I think he was setting some good sectors here. He was already 3/10 up and heading into turn 11 here. A fast left-hander and into his corner. Let's put it that way. And which marks the end of sector 2. He's already 8/10 up. Gouts. Okay, that is putting him in range for P4 or even P5. And
sector.
Indeed. And across this last corner here, KDB is gonna tuck into the back of Gouts to get a slipstream on the pit straight. So well played by the McLaren boys once again. and Gauch is gonna get a slipstream on the pit straight to end his lap. He goes P8 for now, 1.1 seconds off the pace. KDB is gonna pick up a slipstream from his teammate. It looks a little bit messy around here. What's happening here? Oh no, I think KDB might have just run a little bit wide here. Let's watch his sector times as this final run unfolds.
Yeah, I'm keeping tabs on the top 3. Meanwhile, Levi Tiger Pants just started a fast lap of zone, and I believe Andre's on one as well. Envy, so everybody in the top 3 edging closer to basically ensure they have pole. Envy's holding on to it, and he's trying to ensure he keeps it. Andre just invalidated his lap. Levi is still in contention, and so is a bunch of the other drivers at the back of the pack, but perhaps still off pace. So it's all eyes on Levi Tiger Pants, and it's a spin for him, which means ain't no one pulling that away from Envy today.
Yeah, and Envy was almost a 10th down, invalidates coming out of turn 13 or 14, whatever that turn is. And he's not going to improve anymore. So looks like the top 2 is secured for now. But Levi, how much more can he do? He's a 10th down on his best in Sector 1. And there's a bit of traffic in Sector 2. I wonder if he can even do any better. Well, he doesn't improve that much. He has backed out of his lap. So P3 it is for him.
KDB a 10th up in Sector 2, I believe. But yeah,
Oh,
solid lap, 5th fastest.
Yep, and just splits the pair of Williams. Puts himself P6, third row of the grid. Not bad for a failed slipstream attempt, I must say. But P5 and P9 for the McLaren pair. Pretty good showing. You love to see that.
Yeah, I think we missed out on seeing some formidable laps in the likes of Andre, Levi, Tiger Pants, and even KDB for that matter. If that slipstream had gone their way, slipstream attempt had gone their way. Regardless, they got their way on the front. That Gauts is out of the bottom 3 positions. That's where he was lingering around for most of the qualifying session. But there you have it, folks. Some people tried, but in vain. Envy held on to that pole position. 1 minute 28.064 on the board. Pole position in the Bahrain GP. Season 6 in the Bwoah Racing League.
Oof, that was a mouthful to say. But yes, that sounded really cool indeed. And there we go. Sun has fully set. The floodlights are fully on. And we are heading into the race. Well, Envy lines up on pole once again, Sartek. What do you make of this performance that he has been putting in, week out?
We used to call someone as a king of consistency. I forgot. Back in season 5. And yeah, I've just forgotten. But clearly Envy's taken that mantle now. And he's done a pretty good job at that. Andre as well, still in that top 3 consistently, more so than Derp even. You know, Derp finds himself 7th fastest. And I think one of the instances before this season itself, he found himself out of the top 3. So yeah, Envy and Andre, like race by race, it's seeming like this title fight is between the pair. Now we've got Levi Tiger Pants in the mix. Think about how much of a left field is that we might get in the races to come. But with 13 drivers out on track for the Bahrain GP, I'm excited as I am with every race.
Indeed. And well, it's not a track that you cannot overtake. So it's pretty easy to overtake around here if you get a good momentum coming out of the important traction zone, such as the final corner, maybe even turn 3. So it's definitely possible to turn up in the race if you have had a bad qualifying. And turn 1 is as always Bahrain, and it's no way you can make it through cleanly unless everyone is having a hive mind and somehow communicates without clashing. But yeah, we hope for a clean getaway for everyone into turn 1. And yeah, perhaps some position will be made at the start. Race director time, my favorite part before the formation lap. Tire strategies are going to be interesting here. Mix of choices, I must say. Mediums and hards. It's like a checkerboard in the top 10 itself. I wonder if the drivers are considering an early safety car so that they can jump onto the hards and go till the end. That is always a legitimate play around here in Bahrain. What do you think?
Well, I'm not even gonna look at race director. I think it's like voodoo magic stuff for me by this point. After that one instance, I believe Imola, right? We both got stuck on the race director.
Oh,
But regardless,
yes.
on the tires front, I'm not a whiz. I think I need to spend more time behind a sim racing wheel, as most of the drivers advise me to. One thing's for sure. Um, if there's anyone who can pull off a left field result on the tire with a peculiar pick on the tires, it's got to be Big Man Joe. I think he's consistently been that differentiator in the field and gone with the alternate strategy and made it work. Perhaps he's not on the podium, but he finishes when it's required to, when most drivers can't, and he finishes in the top 5 too consistently. So yeah, all eyes on Big Man Joe on that front. He's starting the midfield alongside Gouts, I presume, or maybe in front of Gouts. But despite that, those two particularly, they're now fans of starting in the midfield because they want to stay away from the chaos. They got sickening hot on their tail, Freeze and Horning and Gambler. So Horning, yeah, I don't think he's a bit naughty on the starts, but Gambler historically has quite the track record. But regardless, they learned race on race, so I expect cleaner race starts this time around.
Indeed, and Red Bull at the back of the grid somewhat gives me the vibes of Max Verstappen starting all the way from the back or middle of the pack and still winning the race. Well, it's a long shot, but if it's a trend in this season, we might just see Gambler get a maybe top 5 finish. That might be just nice for him in his return for season 6. And
A
also,
peculiar part of the track to heat their tires up on. Mr. Wex was out off track and on the sand basically. It's definitely not sand, but you get what I'm saying. The light brown part of off track, but he's back on track, and I'm interested to see how his race start goes because he got KDB and a teammate right in front. So are they gonna squeeze KDB in the initial parts of this race? Yeah, curious to see how that unravels.
indeed, and while Horning and Gambler are having a moment all the way at the back, they're not even past turn 12. And that's a spinning UK to warm up his tires. Well, that's one way to warm up these cold hard tires.
No.
Spinning on the exit of the last corner. One will question the tire wear that you get out of that. But well, regardless, he's back into his box. Sarthak, if you could quickly stream the race in Discord, that would be appreciated by some of the folks. And before we start the race, Dub has been disqualified, Gao's been disqualified, Mr. Wax has been disqualified for incorrectly parking their car in the pit box. Gambler has been disqualified. 5 lights are coming on, and there you go, 3, 4, 5, and they're taking a while, and there you go, away we go, and finally, Envy gets a good start. Andre gets a poor one. Levi jumps up to P2, so it's mayhem down into turn 1, and the camera is not pointing in the right direction here. Envy makes it out clearly. Back down. What's happening there, Sarthak? Give us an update.
Alfa Romeo off track, and it's not Levi. Tiger Pants, Big Man Joe all the way down to P13. UK tumbles down the order along with him all the way down to P11, P12 now. But up in front, what a start from Levi. Tiger Pants, talk about making putting the word out on his first race in the Bwoah Racing League. He's up in a P2, and what a gap. The front 2 runners are pulling away from the rest at the back. Andre's gap to Levi Tiger Pants over a second in a matter of a sector.
Yeah, and this medium tire is definitely coming in clutch at the start of the race, and he's already on the back of Envy, so it's a little bit impatient here. Maybe just want to make sure he's pulling the gap away. Is he trying to go for an overtake here into turn 11 here? No, he just takes back for a while. Some yellow flags at the back, and that is Gambler, who has spun coming out of turn 10.
Yeah, spinning Red Bull in sector 2. But yeah, this battle up in front continues. Half a second between the pair, and they've pulled away 2 seconds now, Dalvin, at the exit of sector 2. These guys are in a league of their own at this point, Envy and Levi Tiger Pants. But in the midfield, the thickness, the action continues. Derp has jumped 2 spots. Mr. Wex in UK, the teammates who were running 4th and 6th, got the shot into the stick at the race start. They're out of the top 6 spots. And we have ended the first 2 laps by the looks of it. It should be first lap only. If I'm saying that right. But yeah, Levi Tiger Pants now within 2/10 of Envy, taking that fight to him. Swings to the right-hand side of the track on Sector 1. Level pegging into the corner they go. Bit of contact, but they keep it as clean as possible, and they continue to stay level pegging. But Envy is going to have the upper hand and stay within a 10th ahead as he hits purple sector in Sector 1.
Indeed, and oh, there you go. Levi just sends it down into turn 7 here. Turn 8 was that. He had a look, poked his nose, but he wasn't enough alongside. Envy keeps his cool, keeps his line into turn 10 here. Gets a clean exit here. Can he pull away? Looks like no is the answer. Andre, in the meantime, on those hard tires, will want to make sure he catches up to this pack up in front. But if they start squabbling up in front, they might just be losing the DRS advantage that they had. Gambler has gone off. Once again, Signig is back down the grid in P13 with hard tires, so he might have made a pit stop already. Back in front though, these two are not stopping at any rate just yet. Levi Tiger Pants on his debut race for Bwoah Racing League within 5/10 of Envy onto the DRS straight. DRS will be enabled at the start of this lap, and his first use will coming out of turn 3. Envy sets the fastest lap, of course. He's trying to push, try to pull away, but Tiger Pants, he's hunting him like a tiger.
Yeah, clearly a quick jump to the back of the pack. Big man Joe on horning on the main straight, and I believe contact as well, but they're level pegging into turn 1. Big man Joe has a bit of an advantage, but who will break the latest? I believe a bit of an incident there with awning, a slight spin, a twitch to the right, and Big man Joe will be up in a P10. That was a nice, probably not the healthiest battle, but a battle regardless.
Indeed, medium tires coming in useful at the start here with heavy fuel, so horning on those hards didn't have much of an option other than trying to pin the throttle in the middle of the corner here. But midfield here, ooh, look at this. KDB, Turp and Gouts forming a little McLaren sandwich on that Ferrari driver. A bunch of hard runners all just trying to get along with the race. Andre leading the pack of the hard runners here, trying to catch up to the top two, who are just pulling away every single lap.
Yeah, I mean, the way they did it on that first lap, within 2 sectors, they pulled away 2 seconds over Andre. That I've not seen that in Bwoah Racing League before. That was a first, for sure. And they continue to do it. Biggest winners so far has got to be Gouts and Freeze. Each of them picking up 3 positions since the race start, and the biggest loser being UK. 5 positions drop.
Levi sets the fastest laps after. Looks like this is a move coming into turn 1. Not KDB, and because defensive, and Levi tries to go around the outside. I wonder who has DRS for the next zone, and we're about to find out shortly. And it is Levi who gets a better exit, gets the DRS as well, pulls alongside to the inside. Envy is defenseless on the outside. Can he do anything to keep his lead? No. Levi Tiger Pants, for the first time on his debut race, takes the lead in Bwoah Racing League Bahrain GP.
Yeah. Now it's all about fending off Envy, because it's historically well known Envy doesn't let you keep the race lead for too long. But regardless, he had a lock up on the front left out of turn 1, Envy, and I think that's what cost him the position. And that KDB call, a bit of a reminiscence of season 5, I presume, Dalvin?
Oh, yes. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You know how history tends to repeat, but yeah, it might just happen soon.
Exactly, right? We want to see KDB in the top 3, and hopefully we get to see him soon enough. He's in the top 4, so he's come out kicking pretty well in this race. But one person who continues to kick more is Derp, and he's trying to close that gap to KDB. They're in contention for P4, but that gap doesn't seem like it's going to close anytime soon. Half a second gap between the front 2 runners. Envy might just have to sit tight in P2 for a bit.
Yeah, if I know Envy any better than he knows himself, I think Envy will just sit back for a few laps here, try to pull away from the hard runners, which should be the play for these medium runners in the top 2. Instead of battling, they should work together, pull away, and possibly battle it out towards the later stages of the race. And looks like they might have heard my message, and they are trying to pull away. Despite saying that, Envy gets a much better exit. Try to look down the inside in turn 4. Freeze and UK, what's happening down there? Looks like Freeze might have had a moment here. He's down, tumbling down the order, coming out of turn 2. And yeah, down to P10 he goes. UK Big Man Joe benefiting from that.
Medium runners pulling away a healthy gap to Andre, now beyond 3.5 seconds. But Mr. Wex, the man in the midfield, within a second of another car, his old teammate, Gouts.
Yeah, DRS. Well, we didn't really get a DRS train from the start itself, but the gaps are close enough. One mistake and you will be back in someone's DRS range, and Mr. Wex will be the first one possibly to punish Gouts for this mistake. So into turn 10, it's getting pretty close here. Mr. Wax trying to follow Gouts through Gouts corner very closely. You can lose the back end here, so you have to be very tentative on the throttle here. Coming out of turn 12, but well, I have my eyes once again on the pit straight. Looks like Envy might just go for a move here. 2 tenths is the gap already, and he's not waiting around, probably just using the DRS, and he's going for the move already. Around the outside already. Wow, ahead even before the turn ends. But Levi sticks his nose inside. He will get the DRS for the next DRS zone, and we stays ahead for now. But oh, he's getting pretty close. Where's Levi gonna go? He's going down the inside into turn 4. Levi once again will retake the lead into turn 4, but coming out of the corner, who gets a better exit? And we might just had a better one into the middle sector in this S section, and we just stays ahead for a little while longer.
He loves that part of the track, doesn't he, Levi Tiger Pants? He comes back kicking in sector 1, and yeah, but it wasn't enough. Envy still holding on to the race, retakes the race lead pretty efficiently, and rightfully so. Like I said, he doesn't let you have the race lead for too long. A bit of a twitch, the rack kicks out for Levi Tiger Pants, and that's gonna drop him beyond half a second in terms of gap, just playing into the hands of Envy. He'll be looking to make that gap up. What's been happening in the midfield? Mr. Wex still about 7 tenths to Big Man Joe.
Yeah, he had a spin somewhere in the first sector and he lost a few positions there. But now, crucially, he's back in range of Big Man Joe for that DRS. Speaking of DRS, Levi, Tiger Pants, and Envy have been pulling along each other. But the more they squabble, the more the show we get. But at the same time, Andre will be wishing they fight even harder now, because he's been slowly creeping in the gap once again. It's starting to stabilize between the hards and the medium runners, so Andre is not too far off this lead battle if this keeps up.
Yeah, and Levi Tiger Pants, he's all out of battery too, so he's gonna work on recharging his battery. So enough. Envy still got about 40% left, so he's in a much more stronger position. Yeah. And Andre's gap 4.5 seconds for now. He's got a strong chunk of battery left as well. KDB in the top 5, continues to run in the top 5, stuck in that 4th spot. Oh, and sector 1 lights up yellow.
That is Horning. No, that is Freeze coming out of turn 2, presumably losing the back end traction. Super difficult to get out of these corners, slow speed corners. Well, not much downforce generated by the car. It all depends mechanically. I think Freeze has some frozen tires out on track today here.
Yep, and Mr. Wex's gap to Big Man Joe only extending beyond 9 tenths, now up to a second, so probably not going to see him make a move anytime soon. And I stand corrected, 7 tenths, the gap quickly plummets.
He did get the DRS before the braking zone, which is just a few meters before the braking zone, so lucky him. 3 tenths has been cut down and he's still back in contention. Up in front, Levi, who is running low on battery, who's starting to lose a bit of time there in the middle sector, but still manages to keep within a second and gets dragged along with Envy. And finally you can see these two starting to pull a gap on Andre. So perhaps this is just the moment they need to work together a little bit more before they resume their battle in the second stint.
We never got around to asking your thoughts on the track itself, but perhaps now is a more race-specific question to ask you, Davin. Give us a rundown on what you would have done if you started on the mediums, and what you would have done if you started on the hards.
Well, if I'm in front like Envy and Tiger Pants, I'll definitely try not to squabble as much as they did in the first few laps, and try to pull the gap on these medium tires. I'd like at least 8 or 9 seconds to the hard runners, and they might just be building that a little too late maybe. But once you get the gap you are pretty much clear to run your own strategy. If you are the hard runner though, you'll be wishing there's a safety car, maybe very late into the race and not too early. And it seems like my game has crashed. Wonderful.
Oops. Oh no, but I'll keep you posted on the audio front, folks watching. Don't go anywhere as Davin reconnects the game, flimsy as it might be. We love it every day or every week at least. On track, at least Mr. Wex's gap to the big man Joe lingering around the 1 second edge. He dips down to 9 tenths, 8 tenths in DRS zones. He came awfully close as well, but his rear kicked out in sector 2, and the gap only extended even more. Same with the rest of the pack, and the shortest gap between two drivers is between Sicknick and Gambler down P13 and P12. Gambler on the medium tires and Sicknick on the hard tires. So yeah, we'll be hoping to see a move out from Sicknick. They're in sector 3 right now on the sector 3 straight, and he's almost on the gearbox of Gambler, closing in. Gambler weaves to the right hand side of the track to ensure he breaks away from giving Sicknick slipstream, who peeks around the outside of the final corner. And on the main straight, Sicknick prime for taking that position, closing in. He's got DRS. He doesn't even need ERS as Gambler weaves to the right hand side of the track. Futile attempt to denying slipstream or anything for that matter as they head into turn 1. Level pegging, a bit of contact as well. Gambler somehow holds on to the position, fends off the likes of Sicknick. But that contact might have just hurt Sicknick that much more, because the gap now beyond half a second and 7 tenths.
Yeah, feels like we are back in the 1900s, isn't it? Only radio commentary and all. Feels good to be back in an era where we only had audio and we had so much more fun back then, visualizing everything that happens. So yeah, while we're trying to get the stream back up, stream is up, while we try to get back into the game. Yeah, I think this might have been just the right time for a game to crash. Thankfully, it did not happen at the start, because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, things are becoming a bit more quieter, as we've seen in some of these races. As UK is is the driver with the shortest gap with another car. Oh my god, I'm going gibberish. But I'm speaking gibberish. But yeah, half a second between UK and Gouts as he's deploying DRS in sector 1. Bit of a phased out moment there, folks. I was trying to wrap my head around what's happening and what I'm saying. But yeah, UK being 9 thousandths of a second up on his time into sector 2 and continues to close in on Gouts. Gambler's gap between himself and Sicknick gone beyond the second at the back of the pack. In the midfield, of course, UK and Gouts, that battle ensues, or a battle yet begin. He's got a healthy amount of ERS left, UK, and Gouts are kind of on the short end on that front. They're pulling on to P5. So a quick rundown of the positions on lap number 10, folks. Only lap number 10. We've got about 19 laps left. And to Mrudul Reddy, who's trying to get in on the Discord, you can find links in the description below. Incident Dalvin out on track as Sicknick has a pin, I presume. Let's just quickly take a look at his front wing. Looks tip-top. So Gambler gets his position back, but Sicknick has a lot to make up for. A 4-second gap to the likes of Gambler. Apologies once again for the 21 of y'all watching on the live stream not being active, but I believe it is back. Dalvin's back, and just like that, folks, we got a race in our hands, and Gouts now a 10th of UK, who's pulled off a move in turn 1 of lap number 11. And is pulling away now half a second, and Gouts desperately clawing back for his position with deploying ERS as they head into sector 2. UK's lead prominent enough to ensure Gouts is left in P7.
Indeed, and while you were saying all that, I was talking to you and just realized my mic was muted, so GG's to that. But yeah, here we are back on the battle, and wow, look at what's changed. Not much, apart from a few battles going on. Lap 11, where would the medium runners consider making an undercut?
4 medium runners only. We didn't even notice that, or did we? And I didn't pay attention. Regardless,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, only 4 indeed. 4 out of 13, so that makes it minority of the runners. But the top 2, who are crucially on the medium tires, they will want to make sure there's no safety car to disrupt their plans later on in the race, as the hard runners will love it. And we will probably be extending his gap. It's still lingering about 7 to 8 seconds to Andre. Let's quickly get the gaps down to the leaders. And yeah, 8.6 seconds is his gap. So Andre, by a long shot, maybe even a short shot, maybe, he's not out of the race win just yet, because once he goes onto the medium tires, he'll be about a second quicker than the top 2 runners. So let's just not count the chickens before the hatch, or the chicks before they hatch, or whatever the saying is. I'm not good with that words, but yeah, we still have a race on hand. 12 laps. We're still about a third away in.
I'm trying to. Yeah, it's in Andre's favor to ensure that gap's within 5 seconds only and doesn't go beyond. And he's been doing a pretty good job. I mean, think about Levi's Tiger Pants has fallen behind considerably to Envy now in the 3-second range. I mean, the more breathing space you give Envy, the more advantage he'll take, right? And clearly, 11 lap old mediums had a brief battle, but he was a smart one on ERS deployment, and he managed to get the race lead again from Levi Tiger Pants, showing him who's boss, perhaps, out on track. But what a showing by Levi Tiger Pants early into this race, early into his entrance into the league itself. I hope we see a lot more from him. But a bit less we're seeing from one of the drivers is definitely Mr. Wex down in 9th position. Been about 7/10 off of Big Man Joe for a while now, and we got our first driver into the pits. It's Levi Tiger Pants, folks. It's his first pit stop in the league.
Ooh, I wonder how this is going to turn out. Cold hard tires on the exit are not exactly the recipe for an undercut, so Envy will be looking to respond immediately in a lap or two to not waste any more time. Andre, KDB, Turp, and everyone else will be continuing on the hard tires. On the pit straight though, we have some action. Big Ben Joe has been overtaken by Mr. Wax. Big Ben Joe was splashing a little bit. 13 lap old medium tires, and he has nothing left to defend with. Maybe a bit of a DRS into turn 4.
And he's going to put that 11% of ERS to good use, trying to close in on the likes of Mr. West. This was the same part of the track Levi Tiger Pants enjoyed to make the move on Envy. Not the case with Big Man Joe. Has to concede and settle for P8 for now. Mr. Wex goes up a position.
Yeah, and look at who's right behind Big Man Joe. It is his teammate Levi Tiger Pants attempting the undercut. So I sure hope Levi doesn't get held up by his teammate. I'm pretty sure they'll play the team game. At the same time, Big Man Joe will be making his pit stop, I presume, by the end of this lap. So probably a well-calculated move by the Alfa Romeo pair to release Levi into clean air after this lap. But Envy up in front, I am keeping my eye on him. And yeah, he responds. Envy responds to the undercut attempt by Levi, and he's into the pits himself. Cold hard tires though, how long is it going to take for Levi to catch up? He's not even catching up to his teammate, who is on all medium tires, so the undercut has not really worked out. But
yeah, Levi Tiger Pants is desperately trying to heat up his tires in sector 2. Let's see where Envy comes out.
There's some traffic there for Envy as Derb goes past him, UK goes past him as well. Can Gouts get past him on the exit and put some cars between himself? Looks like Gouts will go for it, and Envy will be held up a little bit more. Big Man Joe still out on track, and now his teammate Levi Tiger Pants finally starting to close up on the gap, so the tires might just start to come into their own. Envy, there you can see at the end of the straight, waving just a little bit to get a bit more heat into the tires.
And yeah, right now Levi Tiger Pants has been dealt the short end of the stick, hasn't he?
Yeah, down to P9.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a fail. Oh, that was Mr. Wex. What happened there, sir? A little bit of a spin, I presume, on the exit of turn 6 or 7. And yeah, well, curbs do catch you out quite horribly around here.
Yeah, so it's just Big Man Joe between Levi Tiger Pants and Envy. But for how long? He's trying his best to get in within that 1 second range of Big Man Joe, Levi Tiger Pants. And he's there. He's within 9/10. So team game, perhaps, but how much longer will Big Man Joe stay out? And as I say that, that's Mr. Wex going slowly yet again.
Yeah, and coming up quick to him is Mr. Wax. I mean, coming up quick to Mr. Wax is Horning and Freeze right behind him after he had the spin. Yeah, as you say, team play though, Sarthak. Levi, he will benefit from DRS, so this might be what they have been planning. Big Man Joe dives into the pits, moves out of the way. Levi gets a handful of DRS assistance to give him possibly 3 or 4 tenths down the pit straight and chase down Envy, but if I'm to guess anything at this point, both of them have warm enough tires to keep going. Question is, will there be any twists for the hard runners up in front?
Yeah, Freeze follows suit of Big Man Joe and heads in the pits for a fresh set of mediums this time around. Mind you, he started on the hards. Sector 1 lights up yellow. That is a slow-moving McLaren of Gouts. P6 and now P7. He's lost a couple positions. I believe it was a spin. His front wing looks quite intact, so on he goes.
Yeah, one free position for Levi, so one less overtake that he has to do to catch up to Envy. Gap still floating about 3 seconds there, so he did lose out a little bit on that undercut, but 3 seconds is pretty doable. If Envy gets 3 seconds, that might just be all the incentive Levi needs to close that gap. Up in front, Andre, for the first time in today's race, is leading the race. KDB, well, we haven't seen much of him. Let's just go back to him. 3 seconds behind the lead as well, so not too far off. Derp finds himself in a familiar podium position in P3 for now. UK keeping it clean in P4 as well, closing up to Derp, and quietly closing up, I must say, within a second already in this lap. Derp is already into the pit, so he's going onto the mediums. That's his undercut attempt on the front two, so this is all kicking off here. In a lap or two more, we might just see a lot more activity in the pits. Derp, crucially, where will he come out? His teammate is also coming around the last corner. He might just get impeded by his teammate and Mr. Wex around here. Mr. Wex goes past. Horning comes around. Horning will pass him, and crucially, there is enough gap for Derp to come out in clean air.
Yeah, I was just about to say how a safety car will play into the hands of the front runners who are on 15-lap old hards. But yeah, I don't think, given the gaps, we're really going to see something like that turn out. Andre leads this race ahead of KDB and UK. It's 2 Bwoah Racing League champions in the top 3, followed by Envy in P4, edging closer to another Bwoah Racing League championship of his own this season, but too early to call. And that the rare kicks out of Horning as I was on board Derp. But yeah, that's not gonna matter too much for now. Horning's been having a tough season here as he goes off track. He's having a tough race too. He's been on the keyboard, perhaps back on the sim racing wheel. Overall, Derp, half a second now between Horning and Derp. Shortest gap between 2 cars, and that is Andre, the leader of this race, pitting. KDB follows suit. UK, what does he do?
He stays out. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So smart move there from UK, possibly anticipating some safety cars or whatnot. But yeah, he will be going on. Andre, he will be. Oh, okay. Hold that thought. Levi there, really pushing with the lap times there. 31.8, fastest lap of the session already, and he is catching up to Envy. Gap now down to 2 seconds. I wonder how much of his battery he's used up. Almost a full load of it.
Yeah, and Horning heads into the pits after 16 laps on the hard tires, and Derp goes up in a P8. So as it stands, on lap number 17, UK leads this race. It's been a while.
Yes, Sarthak, but I think we want to turn our attention to the battle for P4 here. Andre coming out on all cold medium tires here. Right behind him is Gouts, who's on worn but warmer hard tires. I wonder if Gouts can put up a challenge in favor for his teammate.
Yeah, he perhaps got a lap at best to make this move before Andre gets into the groove. A lap or 2 at best. But yeah, we got the first driver to rack up a penalty. It's Horning. And I believe that is speeding in the pit lane penalty.
Indeed, yeah. Speeding in the pit lane. Yep. So, unfortunate there. It will be added on to his finishing time. But yeah, battles galore. It's starting to heat up over here in the heat of the desert here in Sakir. And it's just 17 laps in. We have 12 more laps to go, plus this one. Horning drops a bit more down there in P12, not having the best of days, so possibly cold tires here. Yeah,
Now, Horning had an incident again. I believe he went off track a bit. I just saw it on the track map, lit up sector 2 yellow for a bit. He's not having a greatest of outings either. So, along with Sicknig and Gamler, the bottom 3 are the ones facing the brunt of it. But Mr. Wex and Gouts head to the pits after 17 laps on the hard tires, which means it's only Sicknig who's on 15-lap-old hard tires and UK on 17-lap-old hard tires who remain out on track.
Yeah, Big Manjo coming around the last corner here, so he might just get a jump on these two. Will he get one at least? He gets past Mr. Wax. He's coming.
Incident.
Ooh, incident. What's happened there? It is
Levi Tiger Pants.
It's Levi. Oh no, what has happened there? A little spin there.
He had a spin on the exit of Sector 1. I'm sorry to interrupt, but back to that battle, Davin, Gouts and Big Man Joe.
Yeah, Gouts just coming out behind Big Man Joe here. So 1 second is the gap Big Man Joe on colder, warmer tires here. So Gouts might find himself a little bit tough to follow at this point. And yeah, half a second already pulled off by Big Man Joe.
Yeah,
battle for the lead.
Yeah, from the highest to highs now to arguably his lowest moment in this race. Levi Tiger Pants, after that incident, loses a couple positions, and with that develops a big gap to Envy. Not the greatest of outcomes on lap number 18 for the man.
Yeah, and Levi is on hard tires, so KDB, well, as much as Levi would like to push, KDB will just have the tire advantage for now. Speaking of tire advantage, Andre, 6 seconds the gap to Envy, who's provisionally the race leader here.
And mediums, okay. 1 minute 31.412, fastest lap on the board, and 10 laps left to this race.
Ooh, 10 laps, 6 seconds. It is doable. Andre might just get that adrenaline rush right now. Envy has to get in the groove to set some quick lap times. Maybe not purples given he's on the hard tires, but the gap is coming down real quick. UK still hanging out for some luck maybe. Up in front in P1 leads the race for a few more laps here. And we have another incident that's involving Levi once again. Oh my goodness, coming out of turn 4, Levi spins once again and he's down to P6.
Yeah, and one thing I hadn't mentioned or perhaps should have is, let's not forget Levi Tiger Pants. He's on a controller, I believe, Davin, and not a sim racing wheel.
Well, this might be just the wake-up call he needs to practice a bit more maybe, or he's just under pressure, or it's just the hard tires like we always love to talk about. They don't really give you the best grip, but they do take you a long way into the race. But unfortunately for him, with those two spins, the hards are not going to catch up to the mediums anytime soon. Up ahead for him though, it is Derp, P6 and P5 here. We might just get a convergence. Derp's not really been having the best of races, but he's kept it clean so far, running in P5 quietly, maybe hoping to pick up some scraps from the top 4. UK yet to pit, he might just come on around Derp, so we might just have that to look out for in a few laps. Gap up in front, Andre only half a second closed down in the last lap. He's still catching up to Envy.
9 laps left to this race, and we still got UK on 19-lap old hard tires, so the gap between Envy and UK has been closing about half a second a lap, as far as I've been looking at it. He was about 5 seconds off of UK, and now he's down to 4.5, 4 and 3/10 off of UK now, Envy, and now it's under 4 seconds or so. Regardless, we're going to see that unravel itself. Sicknig, the one other driver with a long run on the hards, finally heads into the pits. There's just UK with the roll of the dice, hoping for a safety car.
Maybe a safety car will bail him out right now and soft tires to go till the end. That would be absolutely a dream scenario. But yeah, Sicknig, as you mentioned, I believe he had a pit stop at the start. So this is effectively his second stop. So, well, he's down in the order for now. Yeah, and there you go. Confirmation that we have 2 stops from Sicknig, who did box at the end of lap 1, presumably for some damage. Well, he'll be hoping for a safety car as well. UK finally into the pits. Soft tires, there you go, Sarthak. Soft tires till the end. He'll be quick. Can he set the fastest lap? How much more can he gain out of this? And look at this. We might just get a three-way battle into turn 1. UK coming out of the pit lane. Gets past. UK gets passed by Derp and Levi Tiger Pants. But look at the gap. It's so close. It's so close. 3 different tires all converging on each other. UK will be the one on the attack on these two. And what, they're already fighting. Derp had a bad exit. Levi Tiger Pants already in DRS into turn 4. UK not too far off.
Yeah, UK with the watchful eye, he's just trying to heat his tires up in the initial parts of this lap as he's headed out. Sector 2 lights up yellow. I believe that is a slow-moving McLaren, so it's 4 cars this time around, Davin. But how long before KDB gets past? Because it seems like he had a bit of an incident and is now within... Yeah, he's vulnerable to the likes of these 3 drivers closing in on him. So on lap number 21, we've got a battle on our hands ready to start. UK on softs, Levi Tiger Pants on hards, and Derp and KDB in P3 and P4 respectively on mediums, all within a second of each other. UK will be within a second of Levi Tiger Pants in no time.
Indeed, and Derp has already caught up to KDB, almost within DRS, coming onto the back straight here. Yeah, there you go. It's a 4-man DRS train. Question is, how much can UK push on those soft tires, take advantage of those in the freshness of this stage in the first 2 or 3 laps. KDB, well, with that mistake, has suddenly lost it. He might just be looking at the back of UK by the end of this battle.
Yeah, but Derp and Levi Tiger Pants, they're not in the greatest of positions on the ERS front. Neither of them have anything more than 10% of ERS left, whereas UK's got a sizable chunk, and so does KDB up in front. So it's more like Levi and Derp being the sitting ducks to UK, more so than KDB being vulnerable. But a hiccup or two might just open up an opportunity for Derp. And we got a backmarker in the mix as well. In the likes of Gambler shouldn't be quite an issue, but more advantageous for the likes of Derp.
Oh, and there is Sicknick spinning at turn 12, the Gout's corner, and that brings out a full safety car. Just one we wanted.
Yeah, just when UK finished pitting and was about to pull off a move on Levi Tiger Pants, whose rear kicked out in at the exit of sector 1. And what better timing? I mean, Levi Tiger Pants manages to hold on to P5 for a bit longer thanks to that safety car.
Oh, this has turned the tables all over the place, and look at that. Everyone might just be jumping into the pits already. Gambler, who was already at the back of the grid, is jumping in for a fresh set of tire. Envy jumps into the pits as well, so he will be getting rid of those hard tires. Very logical choice. Andre jumps in as well, so he doesn't want to be vulnerable on the restart. Prefers to be on the same tire as KDB. What will he do? Track position or fresh tires? I think the answer is pretty clear. Everyone is moving the pits. Derp stays out. UK stays out. Okay, yep, UK makes sense. But Derp staying out? What do you make of that? Track position? I don't know. There's still a long way to go. Puts him up into P1. Oh, wow. Okay,
He's
so
confident. But I wanted to bring up the hypothetical scenario where UK stayed out for a lap and actually got that safety car pit stop. Do you think it would have worked out?
ooh, I don't know. Really close, because 20 laps on the hard tires, it was a stretch. Just maybe he could have, if he had it a lap earlier, I think he would have been happy. But yeah, lap 23, safety car is out, race is neutralized, gaps will be, well, pretty much bumper to bumper on the restart. I'm guessing around lap 25. Gambler is trying hard to unlap himself and has managed to unlap himself, so lucky break for him. He has to catch up to the back of the pack real quick now, otherwise he will be missing the start. Derp, let's just quickly bring up the tire details here. Oh wow,
7 lap.
would you look at that? It's one yellow and then everything else is red, so that is worrying for Derp. 7 lap old medium tires, UK just behind him on 2 laps old medium soft tires, and everyone else on fresh soft tires, so it is gonna be hectic at the restart.
6 laps left to this race. He's trusting himself a lot. He's pretty confident on his ability on those mediums, Davin. Derp, clearly, otherwise he wouldn't have stayed out. He tried to pull off a dummy on Levi Tiger Pants, it almost seemed like, but I think he's pretty confident. At the start, he's probably going to be a sitting duck on UK because he's on 2 lap old softs. The longer the safety car period remains, the more likeliness of Envy also being in that mix at the race start, and Andre as well. So yeah, Dub's the one who will be on the edge of the seat, hoping the safety car period ends right now.
Yeah, because, well, the longer the safety car stays out, the more advantage the soft runners will get towards the end. The soft will not drop off as much as you would like at the start. A low fuel with 6 laps to go, the cars are pretty much as close as possible to running qualifying trim, if anything. So yeah, for the first 3 laps, these soft tires will be super warm and very potent. Dub will have to pull out every trick that he has in his book to defend for his life from UK, from Envy, from Andre, from KDB, from Levi, from Danny, from Gouts, and everyone else. That's a handful of names to say, but at this point, anyone could be in the podium, anyone could win the race.
Yeah, been a while since we had that kind of a moment here in the Bwoah Racing League. 5 laps actually, my apologies, 5 laps as Horning and Gambler try to catch up with the rest of the pack. Mr. Wex finds himself all the way down in P10. Unfortunate to have a retirement in the likes of Sicknig. Horning has served his penalty he had racked up earlier into this race. The only penalty handed to a driver in this race. The other penalty that went was to Sicknig, who unfortunately has retired, like I mentioned. So it's Dub leading the pack on mediums, 8-lap-old mediums. Ahead of UK, Envy, Andre, KDB, Levi, Tiger Pants, Big Man Joe, Gouts, Freeze, Mr. Wex, Horning, and Gambler.
Oof, yeah, we are still waiting for confirmation if the safety car will be in this lap. Dub would want it to be in this lap. Everyone else would not want it to be in this lap because they want their soft tires to last longer than the mediums. Looks like safety car will not be in this lap because Gambler is not caught up, so that's one more lap, one final lap under the safety car. I wonder how close this is going to get at the end.
Dub's not liking this, surely enough.
Yeah, and he's already weaving on the straights to warm up his tires. He knows what's coming for the last 5 laps. He will have to defend for his life. But yeah, again, Sathak, I think going back to the question you asked me earlier, what did you do if, we're starting on the medium, starting on the hards, but we missed out on this part, didn't we? Like, what happens if a safety car comes out and do you stay out, get the track position like Dub did, or do you go into the pits, get some fresh tires? But I think the answer was clear for Dub. If he went in for fresh tires, he will be at the back with everyone with pretty much no advantage to play in his favor. At least now he has some track position. All he has to do is defend and defend hard.
Yeah, quite the feat at the safety car restart, I like to presume. I'm sure it will be. What do you make of UK? 4-lap-old softs, while the pack itself has around 2-lap-old softs behind him.
Oof, he's in a tough spot here because right ahead of him is Dub, who's we're pretty sure is gonna defend pretty hard to keep his lead. At the same time, Envy, Andre, the likes of KDB and everyone else at the back, they do know the UK is on 2 lap all the soft tires, so the soft do drop off pretty quick, and it's gonna be difficult for UK to keep those guys behind him as well. At the same time, he has to attack in front, so if UK can get a jump on Dub on the restart and pull off possibly 2 or 3 seconds gap, well, he is looking clear for the win.
Yeah, if there was an opportunity UK wanted this season to be that much closer to the race win, it's this one. And he's in a prime spot. Safety car in this lap. The call's been given by race control. So it's all eyes on the front runners. Dub, UK, Envy, Andre, and KDB. Let's not forget Levi Tiger Pants in the mix. And Big Man Joe to follow. Who's going to have the spectacular start? Who's going to be dealt at the short end of the stick? Can Dub hold on to the race lead for even a corner, let alone a lap? All to play for in a matter of a corner to come.
Yeah, I have my eyes on UK. And he's a bit slow on the restart. Envy gets a jump on him. Dub gets a better start. Pulls away already 1.2 seconds. So that's dream start for him. UK immediately on the attack from Envy into turn 1. This is going to be 3 wide, isn't it? Andre joins the party as well, looks for an Envy on the inside, on the outside, nowhere to go, but side by side they go into turn 1. Somehow they keep the same track position.
Yeah, but Envy holding on to that P3 brilliantly. Andre still within 2/10 of his rival up in front. KDB watchfully looking at this battle unravel in front of him. A solid seconds gap from Derp as this battle for podium positions continues. Envy somehow ensuring he holds on to P3 and edge closer to UK, who's finding it difficult to close that gap to Dub. Doesn't it look like we're in for quite the action at Sector 3, Davin?
Yeah, and UK, I think, is the perfect cock in the bottle for Dub. Oh, Envy gets a little loose on the exit. Or was that Andre? It is Andre, and KDB suddenly senses an opportunity. UK has been passed by Envy. Around the outside, Envy goes into turn 10, turn 11, and into Gout's corner. He takes back P2, and suddenly the race win is finally back for him. Oh, UK goes a little bit wild on the curb, and Andre is immediately on his case already. Gaps are coming down. Dub 1.1 the gap, 1.2. He's pushing hard. He's depleting his batteries, trying to keep the lead. One more lap, trying to stay away from the DRS, but yeah, it's all so close in this final stage. It's like a 5-lap sprint.
Yeah, Andre in the thickness of the battle as the entire pack weaves to the right-hand side of the track to ensure they have slipstream off of each other. Andre stays on the right-hand side of the track and into turn 1 he dives. And what a dive that was. Level pegging with the UK. Somehow has to concede because UK is holding on to that P3 with a mighty effort.
Yeah, that was so close into turn 1, and Andre tries to go around the outside, this time into turn 4. UK keeps the inside, keeps P3 for now. Just behind them, Levi Tiger Pants and KDB had a moment side by side into turn 4 as well. KDB having the inside, kept it clean. Andre once again getting super close to the rear of UK.
Yeah, it's almost as if Andre is pushing UK to go quicker and quicker because he's forget breathing down UK's gearbox. It almost seems like through every corner they got contact, and it seemed like they were side by side. I don't know what the status is on that situation, but what I do know, Levi Tiger Pants had a moment ahead of KDB, and it looks like he's gonna stay ahead of KDB. P5, up into P5 goes Levi Tiger Pants, and he's on a charge of his own. Envy now within 2/10 of Derp, Dalvin.
Yeah, and DRS is not enabled just yet, so it will be enabled at the end of this lap, but Envy is crucially already within a 10th. He's not even waiting. I think he wants to go for a move into the last corner here. No, Dub stays ahead, cuts him off just at the nick of time. Gets a better exit, Envy, and onto the pit straight. We will have a change of lead coming possibly. How hard will Dub defend? It's not deploying too much, but Envy not deploying too much either.
Yeah, they're being watchful. They've got 2 laps left. As some of them weave to the left-hand side of the track.
Oh,
it's
that's
Andre.
that's some front wings flying, and that is UK who has lost his front right end plate in an attempt to avoid.
Crash. That is a horrible incident between Andre and Levi Tiger Pants as they got too close for comfort. No front wing for Levi Tiger Pants on his debut on the 28th lap, and Andre along with him tumbles down the order, but is trying desperately to edge up the order sooner than lap number 29. Up in front, however, Dub still holding on to the race lead, Dalvin.
Not too long though, 3/10 only the gap heading into turn 10, where Envy will still have the advantage with the soft tires doing his best, but he can't get any better exit than he wants.
Yeah, and I believe that big man Joe is the Alfa Romeo up in the top 5 positions now. What a twist that is. Up in front, Envy closing in on likes of Derp, and that's sector 2 lighting up yellow. I believe just a bit of close contact battles between the midfield drivers, Freeze and Gouts in the likes as well. So with Andre running P9, he'll be hoping to get past
that's
his
UK.
teammate.
UK's off Sartak coming out of turn
no.
13, and he's out. He's out. But yeah, let's quickly go back to the front. No time to waste for Envy. DRS wide open here, coming onto the pit straight. This is his attempt for the race lead into turn 1. Dub is defending super hard, running low on battery. Last lap to go. How much more can he do? Andre is disconnected. Envy runs deep. Envy runs deep into turn 1, and that might just give breathing space to Dub for a little while longer. Oh,
But
this is coming so close.
Think about it, David. Almost like every move Derp made, it played into Envy's favor. Derp has barely 10% battery left to his cause. Envy's got a whopping 50% of ERS left in, and it's the last lap of the race. Derp's a sitting duck. It's a matter of finding a gap for Envy as he doesn't have to fend off anyone even. Sector 1 lights up yellow, so the backmarkers are having the action, having a piece of the action on their part as well. But Derp, 13 laps in the mediums, continues to lead this race.
Ooh, gets
and
a little
now,
boop on the rear, but yeah, Envy, there you go.
yeah, it was Andre almost pushing UK, and now it's Envy almost pushing Derp as Envy peeks down the inside, still holds back a tenth, two tenths,
Oh,
and
Envy
a spin.
spins! Envy spins and KDB goes through, Big Man Joe goes through, and suddenly it's a fight for P2 between KDB and Big Man Joe. Derp up ahead, 1.5 second clear. He's coming home to win the race. If he keeps it clean for another corner, KDB will hold on for one more corner.
You
Spending
can't
off.
make this up. You
Oh, wow.
cannot make this up. The driver who started P5 or P7, he's in contention for the title. He'll weave 13, 14 laps on the mediums. He comes home to win the Bahrain GP of the Bwoah Racing League Season 6. And he took it in the
Oh.
most valiant way possible.
My oh my, if I did not, how did I not see this coming? I thought it was just gonna be a fluke. P7 to P1 was always possible. But Derp showed it. He did it. His gamble paid off with that safety car to stay out on the medium tires. Sarthak, like you said, he's confident with his tires and gets the drive of the day, rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I'm out of words
couldn't-
today. I'm out of
You
words.
couldn't even imagine that race end. I mean, think about it. Andre and Levi getting into that incident, tumbling down the order. And then we had UK losing part of his front wing. And then a last minute spin. Envy, the driver who's consistently clean, race on race, lap on lap, corner on corner. But at the end, it was Derp.
Indeed,
It was Derp.
It was Derp. He just had to hold on for 2 more corners, even if Envy was breathing down his neck. Derp, kudos to you, my sir. You did everything right in the books today, and no mistake. Crucially, P7 to P1.
I think we might have missed some interesting result. And yeah, Big Man Joe on the podium, Dalvin. What a climb! What a charge from him in the last couple of laps. KDB, made sure he stayed calm in the whole flurry of battles around him, front and back, and he managed to get P2. And Mr. Wex ends up being P4. So I think right there, a bit of credit for KDB, Big Man Joe, and Mr. Wex as well.
Yeah, well, I think I've lost my head a little bit after all those incidents. Yeah, but if you look at that, top 3 did not even start in top 3. So that goes to show, well, if you have good racecraft, race pace, and a bit of luck, of course, you see the results as you have today. Well done once again to Derp, KDB, and Big Man Joe. What a return for KDB as well. P2,
Yeah.
Big Man Joe, who was nowhere to be seen until that last safety car, comes home for P3.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful race. These are the races I long for in the Bwoah Racing League. And for the bunch of y'all watching, maybe now, maybe later, even if you're interested to join the grid, that was a 13-car grid. And what a race it was. So if you want to make that 20, feel free to reach out to us on any of our socials. They're open. And you can hop on right in like Levi did today for his first ever race.
Yeah, and we will definitely have fun commentating on your racecraft too,
Yeah.
on what happens to you on track. But yeah, let's see. Let's I think take a breather. We will be heading into the cool down room, shall we say? And I think I need to catch a breath as well. We've had a lot of action. Bahrain always serves a treat, and it did not fail us today once again. Yeah, it's always been nice to see drivers out on track in Bahrain. Well, I think heading into next week, where are we going, Sarthak?
We're heading to the Saudi Arabian GP, Davin. I'm looking forward to these guys, going head to head around Jeddah.
Oh, Jeddah, that's another nice place to race. High speed, highest speeds, streets circuit, and overtaking is pretty easy there. It's pretty much, I'm expecting a repeat of Bahrain, if anything. But yeah, you might be alone in the Comsburg next week, Sartek. So hopefully I could make it back in time to watch the popcorn show that takes place out on track. But till then, everyone, stay safe, have fun racing out on track, and we'll see you all next week.
Cheers,